Hello, collective. Good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is your daily check-in, but as it is a timeless reading, whenever you're checking it out, you can check in on how you are doing, body, mind, and spirit, for a little guidance or inspiration. I am also here a little bit sheepish, going, oops. I am doing a Valentine's Day reading, which is tomorrow. I kind of jumped the gun on that one. I get pretty excited about things like this. So as a nod to that silliness, I'm going to be introducing you to a new deck, the What We've Forgotten deck, and that would be the royal we today, meaning me. But I'm not sad about that, because this is a really awesome deck, and I'm just going to clear the space and ask our angels, guides, and guardians to be with us, the divine to be with us and give us clear messages, particularly around all these awesome symbols. Like these cards are just exquisite. The design is so intricate. It is a deck by Amy Miranda, and she's got like a full-sized book on the symbolism in these cards, and it's got this gorgeous blue and gold blue and gold design, and it's got this mechanical theme to it. Mechanical slash like Atlantis slash Egyptian, with just crazy symbolism. So I'm very excited to use this deck and see what happens for my collective. Like, honestly, just gorgeous. So I'm gonna shuffle these guys up. They feel beautiful. I got this deck at Gifts of the Earth. If you're in Toronto, there's a Gifts from the Earth on the Danforth near the Carrot Common, and that's where I physically, when I get my decks, I pick them up. And they sell this deck as well as the book that Amy wrote to go with these symbols, and I was so tempted to get it, but I'm not very quick with text, and I'm getting used to and understanding the cards first anyway. So we'll see how I do with this and a little book that comes with it. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, cursing sharp stones. I am my mother's savage daughter. I will not cut my hair, I will not lower my voice. My mother's child is a savage. She reads the omens in the colors of stones, in the faces of cats and the falling of feathers, the dancing of flames and the curve of old bones. My mother's daughter dances in darkness and sings heathen songs to the light of the moon, and watches the stars and renames the planets, and dreams she can get there with a song and a broom. We all are brought forth out of darkness into this world through blood and through pain. But deep in our bones the old songs are waking, so sing them right now with voices of thunder and rain. I am my mother's savage daughter, the one who runs barefoot, cursing sharp stones. I am my mother's savage daughter. I will not cut my hair. I will not lower my voice. Especially now I'm not sick anymore and my voice is actually usable. So what are the things that my collective may have forgotten about their personal journeys of health, about their careers of health? Tell me, what does my collective need to know today? And you know, I've got to find a way of shuffling the bigger deck so it's comfortable for me. You know, everything is an experiment. I'm just starting my journey. Woo! as an oracle card reader. Ooh, I love it. Ooh. Okay, interesting. Whoop! And there's, okay, you know what? That works. That works. Thank you, Divine. Oh, I love it. Okay, first we have water. Universal conduit. And then we have eternal life, which definitely tracks with water. And then, oh, look at this. We have adventure. Oh, look at the hearts. I love the hearts. And this could be, it reminds me of hot air balloons and internal adventures as well as external adventures. And of course it reminds me of, with the Egyptian imagery that comes along with this this deck, of my time in Egypt, which I spoke about in my last live. And yes, I will do another live, but tomorrow's Valentine's Day reading, what I want to do is experiment with a pick a card format. So I'll have 3 decks and you can pick one, and I'll do 3 separate videos because timestamps are annoying. So you can pick which one in the first video and then go directly to the one that you chose. But for now, we're going to look at water. And it looks like a gazebo that's kind of also looking like the top of a lighthouse. And lighthouses, I read a poem today about the function of a lighthouse, and they do say that lighthouses are similar to the function of angels in that way. It's the guiding light. But it was saying, you know, the light doesn't cajole you, the light doesn't nag at you, the light doesn't grab you by the back of your neck and pull you to where you should be. The light just guides you and shows you where you might want to go in terms of safety, which would be not onto the rocks. And I'm also remembering, as a kid, I loved the Disney movie Pete's Dragon, and how he was inside the lighthouse and had to relight the lamp before the ship carrying Nora's beloved crashed onto the rocks, and he saved her. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to turn off my heater. Sorry, that's making that worry noise. I will turn it off for the next reading, just so you know what that is. Now I'm going to look up water 60, and you can always look up, I try and keep these readings a little bit short, so you can always look up the meaning of 60 in terms of angel numbers. But right now we're just going to look up water because I want to see what she says about this precious gift that's necessary for survival. Divine, going all in with source. So diving in. Even if you can't quite see what's below the surface either. You know, you just gotta trust the guiding light. Swim away, swim away. Finding Nemo. Swim away, swim away. Sorry, I'm a Disney lover. All right. Water is the first element we meet in the womb. Well, that's right, yeah. It knows us, it soothes us, and cleanses us. But it can also rise up and become a force so destructive it impacts the seemingly immovable element of earth. Water is a conductor. Water reflects. Water brings waves of change. Water remembers us. Water purifies us. It is part of the sustenance of Source. It's 70% of our bodies and a huge amount. I forget how much water is in the planet. It's more than 70%. As climate change wreaks more and more havoc in our lives and ecosystems, many of us are realizing the importance of prioritizing the health of our environment. This ability to work in meaningful collaboration with nature has always been part of us. It's been part of our spirit. It's always been right there. Yet most of us, I guess, in modern life can take it for granted. It's always there, and it's largely unremarkable to us because we've forgotten how to communicate with it. Yeah, I believe that entirely. I live in the east part of Toronto, and it is a very short bus ride to the beaches where Lake Ontario sits there, big, beautiful, and blue. My mom was talking about a exchange student who had come from Africa, and when he saw the lake, he said, "Oh, it's the ocean." And my mom corrected him and said, "No, we live near the Great Lakes, and this is one of our lakes. This is Lake Ontario. It's fresh water." So if you have a body of water around, I would highly recommend going and doing some meditation and reconnecting with water, because in essence, we've forgotten our connection to water, and we need to reconnect with it in order to reconnect with ourselves, with the water in our bodies. And also Archangel Raphael, he seems like the patron saint of our of our readings. That's his element. Like he is there when I connect with water, and whenever I go down there, usually it's because I'm feeling chaotic and ungrounded and unfocused. It is much, much easier to refocus and reground when I am near a large body of water. But that is not to say that you can't also have a shower or a bath with essential oils, whatever you want, and use your intention to clear whatever is blocking you, whatever is not yours, etc., and leave it in the bath when you step out. So yes, definitely a huge message to reconnect with water. This week, find some time to immerse yourself in water, whether it's just your hands or feet, a bath or a shower. You'll be able to get your feet into a body of water. Ask it to remember you. Ask it to remind you. Try asking the element of water to support your spiritual or life journey. Oh, I love that. How have you been connected with life lately? Have you been diving in or making slower waves? How can you stand in its flow? I love that. Okay, so point taken. Connect with that body of water, whatever it is, and ask it to remember you. Ask it to remind you. I guess, remind you what you've forgotten. The water remembers you. Oh, see, I'm just a Disney lover, and I'm thinking about Frozen, because in the second movie there are 5 elements obviously, and water is one of them. And they talk about the memory of water, and this is a trope that is repeated in fairy tales. In Chris Colfer's amazing series, The Land of Stories, when the characters connect with water and eventually are under the water, talking with the Little Mermaid, who is more accurately a foam, oh goodness, a foam spirit, as the original Hans Christian Andersen told us. She speaks to the twins that are the main characters and said, well, we know all of this because you were speaking about it around water and we heard you. Which, oh, I got chills. So yeah, ask the water what it remembers. Does it remember you as a child? Maybe you can get in touch with some very cherished memories, and that could be a beautiful exercise this week. Oh, I love it. Love it. Eternal life. 63, just a few pages down here. Is that the last card? Ooh, auspicious. It is. It's the last card in this book. Ooh, and it is titled, the entry is titled, The Vastness of Forever. Yeah. I very much believe that there is a forever for us, because just like with Reiki, you can't kill energy. You can't destroy energy. So what is our soul? Our soul is energy. So right there, why would we not continue? And, above and beyond that, as a Reiki master, I learned a lot of ways to divine energy, to translate energy, ideas. And one of the types of energy that I was able to read was spirits that have passed on. And I didn't really label it as mediumship. It's just energy, right? So I have connected with all of my loved ones that have passed away, and sometimes they scare the bejesus out of me when I'm not paying attention, which is quite funny for them. It's funny afterwards. Oh my God, yeah. I have stories, but yeah, we definitely have a forever around us that is vast and unending. And we're talking about Egyptian symbol of the Ankh. Where is the Ankh? Oh, it's just talking about it. Okay. And the Ankh, well, key of life. I have a picture of me standing in front of, I think it's Ramses II. It is her temple he built for her. And I'll see if I can find a picture of me standing in front of it with this huge key that looks like an Ankh. And also, my late wife had an Ankh tattooed on this part of her arm. It's very lesbian. Oh, I'm swimming in memory. Okay. That is the cross with the oval over the top. It's a hieroglyph for eternal life. It represents the masculine, the feminine, and the divine. At the top of the oval of the sun coming over the horizon, and the union of the heavens and the earth over and over again. One creation myth in ancient Egypt mythology, Helipolis, yes, was that heaven and earth were known as Nut and Geb. And when I was at a temple, there was a beautiful, like when you go to Egypt, obviously the weather is very different than Canada. None of the stuff that's in Egypt would survive if it was Canadian. That's why we don't have those types of things. We have totem poles. We have huge trees, but we don't have the type of ancient infrastructure that the places like Egypt and Europe in general have. But they painted the insides of their temples. They painted their figures. And Nut, who was the goddess, she was stretched out over the ceiling in this gown of stars in one of the places that we went. And it was absolutely gorgeous. And the paint, the original paint is still there. It's just amazing that this has been preserved. Okay, so back to Nut and Gib, the sky goddess and the earth god, the daughter and son, the lions, moisture and air, the grandchildren of light itself. They follow each other in sacred longing throughout time. This has been carved for all of us to see for thousands of years because energy doesn't die. Just as I said, once more, energy doesn't die. Love doesn't die. It transforms. It transmutes. It wraps around you if you let it. It protects you. Learning to work and walk in light may help the transition between worlds. It may help us be more familiar with the controls. It may help us be more familiar with the controls, once we are in the afterlife. The soul is defined as the spiritual or immaterial part of the human being or animal. It's the compassionate and empathetic part of us. It's also the piece of us that has the prospect of living forever, lifetime after lifetime. It's the part of us that is regarded as immortal, the divine part who continues the adventure. We may have forever in spirit, but our human lives are relatively short, so making and remembering moments is part of the adventure. What moments help define you you'd want to spend forever? What kinds of moments are you working to collect more of while you're here? What moments can you collect for yourself and those you love, whether on earth or in spirit, this week? What experiences have you had or heard of that illustrate the prospect that the life of a soul may be eternal? May we remember that light of love is without end. Holy sugar. Whew, no wonder that's the last. That's the last one in this deck. Mother trucker. Okay, so here's the deal. We are sitting by water and asking to remember some things. And over here, it is also asking us to remember things, to remember our life, our memories, our loved ones, our connections, our composition. So that's a lot of information, I know. And if I was listening to this, my neurodivergent brain would be spazzing. So what I'm going to do is, don't worry about all of those questions. I am going to retype them in the description box. And when you are sitting in the bath or sitting near the lake or the ocean or the river or the puddle, you can look at those questions and say, okay, I'm going to ask one question at a time. Sit with it, surrender to it, and just wait for the answer. It's not a competition. The answers that you need will come to you. You just have to focus on the right questions, right? Because they don't have to all be for you. Focus on the ones that really jumped out at you. Whew, okay. Gosh, I feel like I should be sweating at this point. All right, 18? 18. Oh, okay. Before I go on to that, I just wanted to mention, oh, I'm just channeling Egypt today, and my amazing friend, Charlotte, excuse me, that I met, who I roomed with in Egypt. I am so tagging you in this because I hope your heart will be as full as mine when I am, when I'm talking about our travels. And if you remember any of the specific details that I don't, please put them in the comments because I would love to remember. Okay, 18. Oh, and going back to that. Okay, relax, Kelly. See, I get excited about things. One of the things I learned in Egypt, because this is talking about eternal life here, is at the end of life, when you cross over, there is a belief that you meet Anubis, who's the king of the underworld. I believe that's right. And he asks you one question, and there is the weighing of the heart. So you have a scale, and you weigh you have the weight of the heart against the weight of a feather. So it's the heaviness. And the question is, actually it's two questions. This is the only question that matters for you to cross the proverbial pearly gates into Egyptian heaven. And it's, did you know joy? And did you bring joy to others? That's it. If you have learned to do that, my child, that is, maybe that's just a starting place, but it's the most vital. So that's for somebody specific. And if you do want to go to Egypt, Wild Women Expeditions, if you are a woman, Charlotte and I highly endorse that. They were great. Okay. 18, adventure. Love collection. Breadcrumbs. Interesting. The term breadcrumbs comes from, we are also channeling fairy tales like No Tomorrow. And this is a note to me saying, would you keep writing that book that has that character who is a bard, and I can drop a fairy tale into the book whenever I want? Oh, my heart is in that. Okay. Breadcrumbs comes from Hansel and Gretel, the fairy tale where the characters create a trail of breadcrumbs to help them find their way back home. It's also a term in user experience, a term in user experience design that refers to the navigation sprinkled across big websites, helping us find our way. Oh, okay. Spirit also seems to leave us breadcrumbs to help us find our way back to the home of who we are and why we're here. In treating and tracking these clues, we can begin to piece together where our purpose lives. Breadcrumbs are synchronicities. And we've had a lot of those in this reading, so yeah, take heed. Synchronicities or events that might seem unrelated, but they are experienced as occurring together in a meaningful manner. So like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, everything just turns the right way and lines up. These are not coincidences. They are omens, signs, and guideposts. For example, if you see the owl, the wisdom of the owl, the medicine of the owl totem is pay attention to signs. And that will be a sign for anybody out there who needs to start finding their trail of breadcrumbs. Let's see. Meaningful manner, coincidence, omen, signs, and guideposts. They are how divinity interacts with us. Just like, finding an owl picture, a mention in a song, in a painting, etc. How else could divine connect with us. It has to do it in a way that we understand. So communication goes both ways, right? So for divine to connect with you, it is worth it for you to make an effort to connect with it for guidance. You have willpower. You have to ask for help. You have to ask for signs in order to find that trail of breadcrumbs that is just sitting there waiting. It's just waiting for you. I promise. They are how a divinity interacts with us. It's how it lets us know we're not alone. Someone is looking out for us enough to give us a little surprises when we are on track. There is an intelligence greater than us. That's how we get to access, to live our lives on this planet. But we must also get some clues on what we're here to do, right? She says, question mark. Synchronicity and tracking breadcrumbs are how we begin to figure it out. What types of synchronicities have you experienced? How might they be related? When we collect breadcrumbs, it typically leads to treasure, though sometimes it might be buried at first glance. So bring a shovel. Watch for the experiences that may form synchronistic parallels to messages you may be receiving. Whew. Well, that's a mouthful, Amy. Ah! Okay, that's a lot of homework, so I'm going to dial it down. I'm going to try and put together a list of all of those questions that are posited from these cards and give you a list. So whenever you choose to work on this, you can. And whenever, again, you hit this timeless reading, it's time to work on them. And that in itself can be a synchronicity. Say you miss this reading and you miss this reading again and you don't see it for a month or a couple months or a year, and suddenly it shows up on your feed. Synchronicity. All right. That was a lot of messages, and that's just super exciting. And if there was anything in this reading, I'd really love to know, because I really love that there are folks out there that are watching this and hopefully making some meaning out of this. And I would love to know if there are any synchronicities about anything we've said and done in this reading that makes sense to you. And see, why am I shuffling them like this? Because these are little cards. I can give them a good old shuffle. Yep. Playing cards. Dig it. All right, I would like to get some simple messages from Spirit, because I feel a bit overloaded. Not in a bad way. Just, oh. There goes my clock. And there goes 2 messages. Synchronicity. Let's get one more then, because I'm pretty sure we're on the right path here. We found 2 little breadcrumbs. Oh, and there's another just popped right out. Okay. Clear your minds. I'll write down all the questions. Don't worry. Let's just look at these. And of course, the first one is, if you think you are alone, you are not. Synchronicity. We are beside you in all challenges that you face. Trust that outside sources will always be working with you to ensure the best outcome of every situation. We have your best interests at heart. We love you. So yeah, nobody comes into this world with no spiritual mentors or guidance. I believe we've had many lives, and we have a team that's working with us. You know, you got your guidance counselor, you got your sex ed teacher, you got your music teacher, you know, like, we need mentors. We don't know everything. We have to learn. Earth is a school. We're here to learn. So why would we do that alone? We're not alone in school on Earth. Why would we be alone spiritually? We're not. All right. Be clear about where you are putting your focus right now. Focus on your desired outcome. You have everything within you to create the life of your dreams. Stop doubting yourself for once. That sounds very sarcastic. This is your time. We've got you. And there's a nice big spiritual hug. All right, and last one. Have more faith in yourself. Be proud of how you are navigating every curveball that life throws at you. Because of course life comes with challenges. And we can learn by trying to navigate that challenge. And when we do it successfully, we've won, you know? How do you deal with those times shows your true inner resilience. Nothing can break that. That in itself is an inspiration for others. Oh wow. Keep shining your light. So yes, you are on a journey, you are on a path for yourself, but don't forget, just as there are people in front of you guiding you, there are people behind you following. Ooh, yummy, yummy. Okay, so yeah, I think the most important messages here are, you're not alone, kid. You have got people that have got your back, whether they are material, whether they are actual people in life, whether they are corporeal, that's the word I was looking for, or whether they are in spirit. Ask for help of the people around you, of divine. Look for the breadcrumbs and keep going. Look for the synchronicities and you will find the first breadcrumb and the second breadcrumb and the third breadcrumb. And notice that that is a one at a time kind of thing. Don't overwhelm yourself. Okay, that's it for my ecstatic reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will join me tomorrow for the special Pick a Card Valentine reading, and I'll give you a little preview of the cards that I'm going to be using. I've got some beautiful ones. So I've got the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue, the Rumi Oracle, the Love edition, What's Blocking You, which is a singles relationship. We've got The Naked Truth, Twin Flame Soulmates readings, and a Soul Symphony card deck, which is just exquisite. So it'll be a beautiful reading tomorrow. Very excited. Oops. Sorry, not sorry. And it wasn't today, because obviously this reading needed to come out. It was just that there were some things I forgot. Oops. All right. Be well, my friends. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.